So y'all, I have something different for you today because I have talked about selling low content books and how people are making literally hundreds to thousands a month from around the world.
I received $4,333.
I made a whopping $67,532.
These are real people, these are real results. And they are doing these things without even having to actually write a book. So y'all, I have something special today. I took the top most frequently asked questions and I reached out to Neil Lasson, who is not only the owner of Blvd, which makes it super easy because they supply templates like these and there are tons of them to choose from, and all you have to do is click a button, insert them in your book, and upload it to Amazon KDP and you're done. But he is someone who actually does this, who put out tons of books and who was able to generate 6 figures a month selling on Amazon. So I'm going to be asking all of your questions and he's going to be answering them here for us today. What's up guys, this is Monique and welcome back to the channel. I am back with the news that you definitely can use, but first, if you are new here, hello, bonjour, hola, aloha, konnichiwa, wagwan, shalom, assalamu alaikum, jambo, namaste. And I'm about to get straight into these hot questions, especially this one, because so many people have been wanting to know, is selling low content books still relevant today? Like, a lot of people are worried about it being oversaturated, but can people still make money by selling low content books right now?
You know, we get this question a lot about saturation, and the fact is there is a lot of saturation on Amazon, but people usually bring this up are thinking about it a little bit the wrong way. So what I mean by that is that most people, they'll hear about low content books and they'll think, hey, maybe I can quickly throw up a journal, lined pages, I'll slap something on the cover and put that up on Amazon. Now, of course, journals have ginormous, huge, massive competition because there's hundreds of thousands of them. It really comes down to finding a niche and taking a research approach first. So basically what people should do is take this research-based approach where most of the time is spent on figuring out where is their customer demand, where are people looking for these products, can you break into that niche, and then spending about 20% of your effort actually creating those unique products. I brought up a few screenshots from the Blvd Facebook group just to show you that other people are having success doing this. So if they're having success, you can as well. This person right here just officially sold their 300th book, creating and doing the research through Blvd, which is incredible to see. This person started just 2 months ago, right? They have 1 notebook live. Remember, they probably niched down that notebook. Their sales rank is 38,005, so incredible results. Brought up a few more here. This person just got started, already has 5 sales on Amazon. This one, 2 sales this month. Looking forward to many more. This one, starting out, trying out some ads. You don't have to use ads, but 13 sales this month, and the report says they have 19, which means they have more that are going to ship and then show up in their reports. This person has been a busy month. They've already gotten 8 sales on a single book. This person is kind of examining the coloring book niche in the Halloween coming up, right? Has already received 5 sales on that single book. You don't have to take my word for it. There are other people seeing these very, very, very good results. But I did want to just show you 2 things. One, if you want to join this private Facebook group here, all you want to do is head over to Blvd. Make sure you're logged in. If not, grab yourself an account. And once you are inside, you want to click on the weekly calls button in the top menu, and there's going to be a link to join that Facebook group right here. Now, I did say that KDP is not saturated, so I want to show you an example of that using myself. One of my hobbies is actually brewing craft beer at home in my free time, which is pretty fun. So the number one thing that we want to do is we need to find, hey, is there demand for low content books in the beer brewing niche? I don't know, right? So we're going to go over and we're going to check out the product search. Okay, so I'm going to click on the product search. I'm going to enter in the word beer and click search. Now what this is going to do is it's going to give us a broad idea if these books are selling. In the beer niche, it's very, 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 very broad, right? We're not niched down yet. So just taking a look at this, we see an Oktoberfest composition notebook, a home brewing journal, a homebrew beer recipes. Now remember I just said that I like to brew beer at home, right? So we see that these are actively selling quite a lot in the very, very broad beer brewing niche. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Amazon and I'm going to think about what kind of book would I like to sell, but also related to my hobby. So we're going to go over to Amazon. Let's search for blank beer brewing recipe book and click on search. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the actual results. Okay, this one, it's priced almost $12. It has a review. We know that it's selling. This one has 12 reviews, priced about $10. You can scroll down. This one has reviews. This one has reviews. So right away, you start to see there are multiple beer brewing logbooks. We have this one's a logbook. We have right here a blank recipe beer brewing logbook. The final thing I'm going to take a look at is right up here. Okay, so it's going to show me the results on Amazon, 1 to 16, so there's 16 on this page for the keyword that we're looking at, but there's only 838 results. There's under 1,000 results on Amazon. That's going to be your competition. It's much, 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 much easier to compete against less than 1,000 people. Now, this is just one quick example, but once you are inside of BookBolt, let me head back over here. We do have all of these low content niches of the week that I've put together over many, many weeks of doing those live calls. And you can find those in our frequently asked questions here under the KDP research.
I 100% agree. I have been seeing so many success stories from people today still making a lot of money. So as many people may already know, getting reviews is going to be extremely important because reviews help us to get sales. So one of the questions that a lot of people have is, can I review my own book?
Absolutely not. And the reason why is this is considered manipulation of Amazon services. You have a lot of people trying to cheat the system, trying to get hundreds of views very, very quickly. Pretty good way to get your Amazon KDP account get shut down. We've seen people run into this trying to kind of game the system. So I always kind of explain when I'm doing these live calls with people when they ask about this is that there's literally millions of people that are shopping on Amazon every single month. So there's plenty of fish in the sea. So what they really need to focus on is creating the great content, right? So once they create great content, there is one little trick that I wrote about on the blog, and I put that in the document here so you guys can look at it. But this is on the blog. It essentially, I have a very short video. It's how to create a QR code using this secret clickbaity link here. And all this does is it asks you as an Amazon account holder, right? So if you purchased a book and you were to click on this link using a QR code, it's going to ask you to review your previous order. So if people are putting these QR codes using this link in their book, it drastically increases the number of reviews they're going to get. And those are going to be real reviews, right? So exactly what we need customers to actually do. So
you guys heard that one. Let's not review our books. Let's get real reviews so that we can get real money. But speaking of getting money, another thing that tends to help to sell on Amazon is that look inside feature. And that's just because that gives you a little preview of that book. But the thing is, the look inside feature is not showing up with low content books. So Neil, the question for you that a lot of people have is, how do I get it?
So a lot of times, because Amazon has not removed this on older books, any new low content books, so books that do not have ISBN numbers, so you can't assign an ISBN number to a low content book anymore, which means you will not see a back cover right here. You will not see a look inside feature. That is just completely gone. Now you will get this look inside feature if you're doing coloring books, activity books, or puzzle books. Anything else will not have it. Because the look inside feature is gone, people are like, well, how do I let them know what's inside my actual book? And the answer to that is called A+ content. So if you ever see this on the page, if you scroll down an Amazon page and you see from the publisher with some cute little images, this is called A+ content. So this is a way that they can spice up their product page to show what's in their book. without having that look inside feature. So I've also put in that document I'm going to send you, but it's a fairly simple process. I always tell people when I do the live calls, I don't recommend doing this on lined journals because it does take a little bit of time. But a lined journal is a lined journal, right? It's just lined interior. Kind of doesn't really make sense. But for logbooks, stuff like that, I do really like this.
And I will be putting a link to the article to show you how to create that QR code and how to do the reviews in the description. So make sure you go and grab that. But now the next set of questions I came across are more geared towards actually putting the book together. Like one of them that I see quite often is, can you change the trim size, paper type, or bleed type once a project is created?
We step into the studio here, and when you go to create a new project, as you've shown off, right, you pick a paperback or a hardcover, give it a name, and then you're going to pick a trim size, you're going to pick an interior and paper type, and you're going to pick bleed or no bleed, and the page count. This cannot be changed. So no, they cannot change any of this after they've already started their project. Now, what I like to tell people a lot of the times is just like building a house. You do all your research and you figure out your floor plan and you do everything before you start the house. And if you built a 3-story house, you can't just decide at the very end, hey, I'd really rather have like a ranch style house. All of the systems, all of the settings, everything would need to be changed. So that's why I like to tell people to focus on what the research tells them first. Don't just jump directly into creating something. So let's just say someone's doing their research. These are some great sellers. They've decided, hey, they want to do a book sort of like this. But if they've done the actual research, clearly they should be picking 8.5 by 11, keeping the pages about 100 to 125, somewhere in there, and selecting the bleed settings. I always like to tell people just select bleed and pick the page numbers and go from there. Now, if people are trying to create hardcover books from their paperback books, you can come in here and you can go to the learning menu. You can go to the walkthrough tutorials here. Scroll down to this one. It uses kind of the files that they download in order to create a new project and upload those files to the new project.
So that should be pretty easy. I hope that we're answering your questions. And if you don't see your question here, make sure you leave it down in the comments and we'll try to do something like this again. Now, this is a question that I see a lot now. A lot of people are asking about not just creating low content books in BookBoat, but they want to know if they can create traditional books here. You know, like novels or self-help books, you know, the regular books that we see.
Yes, you could, but why bother? Really, when it comes to writing traditional books, people should write them in Word, and then that is their manuscript there. You can come in and create the cover using the studio for your traditional book. So in order to do that, you would then come to Project, you go to New Project. You use this drop down to just create a cover, and you would need to add the page count here. Now, in order to get the page count, if you're doing a traditional book, you first have to actually upload your manuscript and see how many pages your manuscript will be on KDP, and then come back in here and do this. Do not do it inside of the studio. That's way too much time and effort for absolutely no reason.
That makes a lot of sense, and we don't want to waste our time or energy doing things that we don't necessarily have to do. But the next question that I have is about books that have already been published. A lot of people want to know, can their cover or interior be edited after they've published it to Amazon?
Fairly straightforward. Yes, you can. You want to edit a book you have published on KDP already, you just come to Project, you go to My Project, you'd find exactly which project you actually want to change. You do the changes. Once you have the changes done, you want to go to Download, you want to download the current project. Then all you have to do is log into KDP, click the 3 little dots right next to your book, click Edit Content. It is going to require that you step through those 3 publishing pages in order to get your book online, and then you will have to submit it for review again. It'll go through just like it would if you are publishing a brand new book.
Now, one of the books that I see that sell a lot and do well on Amazon are things that say large print books. Now, for people out there that are interested in creating these books, because you've done the research, you found that this is a type of book that you want to sell, the question that a lot of people have is, what is considered a large print book?
When you're selecting, your categories, you also have this checkbox right here. So if someone checks this, if it's considered a large print book, the content in the book has to be at least 16-point font size. Okay, so in order to do that inside of the studio, you can do this right here, right? So this is massive. This is almost 70 points. But you need to make sure it's points and not pixels, inches, or centimeters. So 16-point font is the minimum. We often recommend 18 or above, especially if you're doing, puzzle type content.
The people want to know that after someone has bought their book, because they're selling it to friends and family, mama, daddy, somebody say, I bought your book. But however, when they check over on Amazon KDP, they are not seeing that they have any sales. So why don't they see that the book has been sold?
And the reason for this, the KDP dashboard is only going to show the sales once they are shipped. So once they are printed and bound and packaged and then shipped out to the customer, that's when they will show up. You also see this issue a lot when people are running Amazon ads for their books. So Amazon ads might show that, hey, you got a sale, but it doesn't show up in your dashboard. And it's because, yes, you got a sale from that ad, but it hasn't been created and shipped to the customer yet. So in this case, patience, right? It will show up.
Again, like I said, if your particular question is not answered, leave it down in the comments and we'll try to do this again. But I thank Neil so much for taking time out of his schedule to go over some of these questions with us. I hope that this has helped you in some way. But other than that, I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we are out. Peace.